So we just recently got back from our Disney World trip. It was absolutely amazing, and I will be going into more detail about how our trip went and all of that in another video that I'm going to put out after all the vlogs and stuff come out. So keep your eyes out for that. In today's video, I really just wanted to talk about the EPCOT Festival of the Holidays and all of the good food that we had and the best stuff that we had. So that is what is going to be talked about in this video. So I will be talking about the cookie stroll too, so stay tuned for that. But we're going to be talking about the best of the best of what especially my husband and I like, because my kids are super picky. They're not going to be eating any of this stuff from the festival. So it's really just what my husband and I really loved. And obviously, it was a family trip. We did not eat everything at the festival. We had about 5 main dishes from the booths. So I'm just going to be ranking those that we had. Everything was fantastic, but there were definite winners to us. So let's get into what we thought. So when you're first going into EPCOT on a festival day, you're definitely going to want to pick up one of these little guides that tell you about they're called the festival passports. And it's basically just a guide to tell you all about what is at each booth, and this is where you get your cookie stroll stamps. So definitely pick this up on your way in, and they have these for every festival. So anytime you're going to EPCOT for a festival, you're going to want to pick up this one, and this one is obviously from Festival of the Holidays, which we just did. So I am going to actually just read the description of the ones that we ate just from here. And then I'm going to start from the worst to the best. And when I say worst, there was no worst when it came to those 5 main dishes that we had. Everything was delicious, but I am just going to rank them for the sake of this video. Okay, so we had 5 main dishes, like I said. So coming in at number 5 was the Reuben croquette from Favorites of Festivals Past. Now, this one I had my eye on before we even went there. I definitely wanted to give this one a try. I absolutely love Reubens. I love pastrami and all of that. So I definitely wanted to give this one a try, and it was really good. And this is the description. So it's a Reuben croquette with pastrami, sauerkraut, and Swiss cheese with Thousand Island dipping sauce. And since it's a croquette, if you're not sure what a croquette is, it's just like a little ball. So basically they have that mixture and then they scoop it out and into a ball shape, and then they fry it. So the outside is nice and crispy, and it was nice and crispy. And the flavors were really good. The reason why it's number 5 on this list is because the inside was just a little bit too mushy for me. I felt like, especially the pastrami in it, should have had a little bit more of a bite. But the flavors were really good. But it's just that everything else that we had was like perfect. So this was really the only one that I had like a critique about. So that's why it landed in number 5. So coming in at number 4, and I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, it was at the Noche Buena Casina booth, and it was the Pan de Jamón, which is traditional Latin Christmas bread, rolled ham, raisins, and green olives. Now, the way that they make it is they obviously do the mixture all in the bread and then bake it all together and then give you like a slice of it. So it's like rolled in there. This was delicious. I had never had anything like this before. I've had breads that have like olives in it and, things that are in the bread, but not like a meat. It was almost like a pre-made sandwich kind of the way that it was, but the bread was nice and crispy on the outside. It wasn't too hard to bite. The flavors were absolutely delicious. It was really, really good. So this is definitely a must try, especially if you haven't tried anything like that before. It was really a unique dish for us. So this was really, really good. And coming in at number 3, we're actually going to go back to Favorites of Festivals Past for those ham sliders. Now, this was brown sugar and mustard glazed ham sliders with cranberry and apple coleslaw on a Hawaiian roll. These were delicious. These were really, really good. The flavors, the slaw gave it that nice like little crunch. and it all came together with those Hawaiian rolls. Anything you put on a Hawaiian roll is going to taste really good, but these were just so good. They had the sweetness and also the sweetness and the crunchiness from the coleslaw. Everything just went together really well. And it's at number 3 because the top 2 spots are, number 2 spot is my husband's favorite and the number 1 spot is my favorite. But this was definitely a tie for number 1 for both of us. We absolutely really love this one. This is a must try if you're going to be there at the festival coming up soon. So coming up at number 2 is at the Las Posadas Holiday Kitchen booth in Mexico. And this was my husband's number 1 pick. And I also really, really enjoyed this one as well. It was the tostada de carne, which is braised beef tips, slowly cooked Mexican style, atop a fried corn tortilla with black beans, crispy onions, and queso fresco. So this was done perfectly well. The tortilla was nice and crispy. It didn't get soggy at all. The flavors blended so well together. If you're a fan of Mexican food, you're going to want to try this. It was really, really delicious. It was very good. All of the flavors blended together, and that crispness of the tortilla was perfect. It was really good. And coming in at the number 1 spot, at least for me, was the smoked salmon potato latka from L'Haim Holiday Kitchen, which is, it's not part of a country, but it's a booth that's in between France and Morocco. And during the festival holidays, they also have like a storyteller in that area, which is a really fun thing to see. But let me tell you, this smoked salmon latke was not just the best thing I had at the festival, it was the best thing I had the entire trip. I'm a seafood lover. I love fish. I love salmon. Smoked salmon is so good. And the latke was cooked perfectly. Then you had this like mound of smoked salmon on top and then like a cream sauce on top. It was just delicious. So if you like smoked salmon, even if you're wanting to like maybe try it, go try it. This was fantastic. I absolutely would have this all the time. It was so, so, so good. So that obviously is my number 1 pick. And obviously there are tons of other foods at these booths that we didn't get to try. So there could be things out there that are better than what we had and we just don't know. So definitely put down in the comments if you've had something else that you absolutely love. I want to hear all about it. And now we're going to get into the cookie stroll. Okay, so the cookie stroll. This was something of a little bit of a disappointment for me. I do like cookies. I love cookies. The ones that we had just did not hit it for me. There was one item on the cookie stroll that I wouldn't really consider a cookie, but it was the best thing we had on there. And there were a couple of cookies that we didn't get to try. All the cookies from the prototype Cookies of Tomorrow, which, let me find it. The experimental prototype Cookies of Tomorrow booth that was inside Communicore Hall, where that big gingerbread spaceship Earth was. They had the cookies that I really wanted to try. When we went in there, the line was just astronomical. I was not about to wait in a line like that for cookies. That's just, cookies are not on the top of my list, but they did have that prototype cookie, which is a sugar cookie with orange cranberry icing and dark chocolate. I really wanted to try that one. And the ginger molasses cookie looked good too, but unfortunately we just didn't get to try that one. And then we also really wanted to try that hazelnut Linzer cookie in the Germany booth. But once again, when we were over there, the line was just crazy. And with little kids in tow, they don't care about cookies like that. So we just didn't get a chance to try it. So if I had had those, maybe my mind would feel a little bit differently. But let me go over the 5 cookies that we did have. And there's a very clear winner in those, and it's probably not what you would expect a cookie to be. Okay, so coming in at number 5, and honestly, I would probably rate this even lower if I could, which is so unfortunate because I really wanted to like this one. It was the Mickey shaped almond black and white cookie from L'Haim. It was so disappointing. It was dry and it didn't have much flavor. You could barely taste the icing flavor on it. And I don't know if this is because I absolutely love black and white cookies that you get from like a bakery. I don't know if it's because of the Italian bakeries that are here in New York that just make really good ones, but this was super, super disappointing. I mean, I didn't even finish it. I took one bite and I just did not want to waste my stomach space with that cookie. I wanted to be able to eat other things. I mean, that's how disappointed I was in it. So unfortunately, that one was an absolute no-go. Now, coming in at number 4 was the chocolate cookie from the American booth. This had Snickers bar pieces and salted caramel on top. It was just a typical plain chocolate cookie with those toppings on it. And I am usually a Snickers lover. Like I honestly, I don't eat a lot of like candy, like Snickers and blah, blah, blah. But if I am going to have a candy, it's something like Snickers. So I was a little bit disappointed in this cookie. I don't know if it was the mixture of the Snickers toppings with the cookie. It was kind of like too sticky. It just didn't really flow with me. I don't know, maybe I'm just really picky when it comes to cookies. I'm not sure, but I wasn't too much a fan of it. So that's coming in at number 4. Coming in at number 3 was also at the Noche Buena Cocina booth, which, by the way, this one is in between the walkway of World Showcase and the Imagination Pavilion. So this one's not at a country. It's like on your way into World Showcase. This one was a cinnamon spiced chocolate crinkle cookie. Now, this one was fine. This one was okay. The cookie was soft. The topping was nice. Would I go back and order it again? Probably not. But it was fine. It was a good, I wouldn't say that it was bad. So it was just okay. Coming in at number 2 was the coffee mocha cookie from Mele Kalikimaka booth, which is in the walkway in between World Showcase and the Imagination Pavilion, so as well as the Noche Buena one. It's like in that little area where there's like that little playground. It's like kind of like in that area. This cookie was pretty good. Would I say that it has a major coffee flavor? No, but I liked the like the icing topping. It wasn't too sweet. It was nice and soft. I really don't like those like hard icing cookies. So this was nice and soft and it was good. You know, I ate the whole thing. You know, it was nice. It was a nice cookie. The flavors were fine. Again, it didn't scream coffee to me. Like if I didn't know the name of it, I'm not sure if I would have said that it was coffee flavored, but it was still pretty good. Okay, now coming to the number 1 spot was back at L'Haim. And this was the Rougalash, which I would not consider normally to be a cookie. It would normally be like a pastry, I would think, for me. But it was included in the cookie stroll and it by far topped all the other cookies. The description is a pastry with raspberry jam, walnuts, and cinnamon. I would go back for this. This was really, really good. It was nice and crisp on the outside, and then that jam was nice and soft. The flavors worked really well together. So that is something that I would go back for. That was the best one of the cookie stroll cookies that I had and that my husband had as well. So as you can see, the cookie stroll was really disappointing to me. I think that EPCOT has so many other desserts and snacks outside of the booths, and even some that are in the booths that aren't included in the stroll, that are just so much better. And if I were to do it again, knowing you know, the flavor, all the cookies that I had, if I was able to go back and do it again, I wouldn't even bother with the cookie stroll. I would want to save that stomach space and money for other desserts and snacks that EPCOT has to offer, because they really have some really good stuff. Like the school bread is amazing, the pretzel bread pudding, everything basically in France. There are so many things that you can get that are dessert snack forward that are so much better than those cookies that we had. And like I mentioned before, if I was able to get those other cookies that I wanted, and if they were really good, I would probably have a much different opinion about the cookie stroll than I do right now. So if you did have those cookies, let me know how they were in the comments. I really want to know if they were good or not. So that does it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you're heading to the festival before it's over, before the end of December, let me know what your favorites are down in the comments. And until next time.